Okay, so remember this question for x. Now the first long question, it was the base 5 to the exponent of x plus 1 minus 5 dot, which means times, 5 exponent minus base 5 to the exponent of x minus equals to 19 for 5 marks. Now, it's a long question, but you should have all said to yourself, the fact I have terms, it doesn't help to break it all up at this point to the base 5 and drop the base and equate the exponents, because with terms, you always factorize. And 19 being a prime number, you're never going to get to the base 5. So you've got to now say, okay, we know we're factorizing. Now look at the exponents. Do you see the variable index goes plus 1? Doesn't matter what comes before or after it. The variable index, the coefficient of that variable index is it goes plus 1, and so is that. So when I see that, I know I'm going to first break into factors, but basically it's a highest common factor question, right? Now, if it's a highest common factor question, I told you, leave the constant on the right. That number is going to change. To help you, I said, break something like that to its factors. So that would be 5 to the x times 5 to the 1. Do we all agree? Same bases multiply, write the base, add the exponents, but they're unlike terms, so you wouldn't be able to do anything more than that. Don't waste time breaking up 25 to 5 squared. Don't waste time, because that is just a number, and it's going to be part of what I'm going to end up changing this number. But I am going to change that 5 to 5 to the exponent of x dot, which means times 5 to the exponent of negative 2. Minus, again, break into factors, 5 to the exponent of x dot, which means times 5 to the minus 1. Right. I'd like you all to be aware we still, on the left-hand side, have 3 terms. Do you notice in each term I have 5 to the ghost positive 1 x variable exponent. So do you see I'm going to take that out as a highest common factor. And you do that by division. There's the constant, all right? So when you divide that into the first term, you're left with 5 to the 1, which is 5. Minus, because there's a minus. Now, when you divide this middle term, sorry, it goes a little bit further, with your 5 to the x, you're left with that times that. So you're left with 25 times 5 to the minus 2, which is 1 over 5 to the 2, which is 1 over 25. Minus, when you divide the third term by 5 to the exponent of x, you're left with 5 to the minus 1, which is just a fifth. Flip it, okay? So we have our 5 to the x there. We're going to get one number, even if it's a fraction. We're not scared of fractions. Now, just for interest, you could cancel that 25 with that 25 and have a 1 there. So you have 5 minus 1, which is 4, and 4 minus a fifth. But it's probably easier, if you don't mind, just to use the Casio, because our brains are all a bit dead. So it's 5 minus, so this cancels once, and then you have minus up, down, 1 over 5. So the number you get in the bracket is going to be 19 over 5. All right? Please do not go into decimals. They are going to save no calculators. All right. Now, I always knew we were going to get a number there, so I knew we were going to divide both sides by that number. All right? And that is why I didn't change that. Well, not that you can change a prime number, because I'm also going to divide that by 19 over. Now, you might notice that on the right, instead of going 19 divided by 19 over 5, which becomes a double decker, I just went 19 divide by 19, so that it is easier for you to see that if you do your times and tip, so you change your divide to times, you tip this upside down, then do you see the 19s cancel once out, leaving you 5 to the 1. So basically, I've just run out of space. You have 5 to the x equals to 5, which to the has the 1. So drop the base, x is 1. All right, so that is what you were meant to do for number 1. Mark allocation is as follows. Okay. Some teachers give a mark for breaking into factors. I don't, because some of the very top students can just see it without doing it. So our first mark is going to be taking out the highest common factor of 5 to the x correctly in that bracket. Then they're going to definitely award you there. The next will be that and then that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the 5 marks. Now, some class teachers like Miss Helfer, she might give you a mark for that. But remember, I don't even need to see that step. I advise it strongly. I don't like to jump steps because then you make mistakes. But that is probably not where you're getting the mark. It is going to be 2 marks probably for that line. Notice you've got to show those 2 steps. So even though you can maybe at that point see what's going to happen, don't just go x is 1. You must show that you get the same basis. That is always a mark. All right, that was easy. That was, to me, level 2 middle. The only reason I say middle is because you had a few fractions. And for the first time, we had 3 terms to take out 8 and not 2. But there was nothing else hard about that question. So if you want to screenshot it, screenshot it. I will post the memo after the lesson, but I'm erasing it. All right. The second one . Sure. The second one is write down the question and analyze what the level is. Solve for x, no calculator. I gave you 3 to the x minus 3 to the 3 minus x equals 1 over 6 in a bracket to the exponent of minus 1. Now, initially, that might look hard. But step 1, I have terms. So I know that I am going to factorize. Number 2, look at the variable exponent. You see that is a ghost plus 1x. I'm not interested in that constant. Look at the variable exponent. Do you see it is a minus 1x? So do you remember I said if you get a plus 1x in one term as your exponent and a negative x in your other term, this becomes K method. So this example is actually, if you know your rules, easy. So let's see it. We've got 3 to the x minus, please break into factors, 3 to the x dot First of all, I wrote it too small and I said the wrong thing. 3 of 3 dot, which means times, base 3 to the exponent of minus x. On the right-hand side, just to fix it up, if you flip it, it's just 6. But I know this is going to be a trinomial. I'll show you why. You've got 3 to the x minus 3 to the exponent of 3 is 27. Now, to make that variable positive, it's one term. So you can put the 3 at the bottom, then the x becomes positive. I'll even leave the 6 there for now. Goes 1. Can you see, I'm going to say let 3 to the x equals to k. There is your 3 to the x, and it's there as well. We have k, which is over goes 1, minus 27 over k, and that equals to 6, which is over goes 1. So degree LCD is k, and k cannot be 0. 1 into k goes k. K times k, we get k squared, minus k divided into k goes once. So 1 times 27 is 27, equals 1 divided into k goes k. K times 6 is 6k. Now, we can see it's a quadratic trinomial. Let's get it in the correct order. So we have k squared. Now we need the term with k to the exponent of 1. It's a positive term, so bring it across. You'll see it becomes negative. There's my minus 27. And don't drop your equation. Now, I'm sure this is going to factorize. When you open and close your two brackets, don't drop your equation. Okay, the factors of 1 and 27 to differ. So I'm thinking 1, I'm thinking 9 times 3. Oh, wow, that was hard. Okay, so we have 1k, 9, 3. If the last sign of your quadratic trinomial is negative, it tells me the brackets will have different signs. The biggest product multiple gets the first sign, which is minus. So who's bigger, 9x or 3x? Definitely 9x. This must go there, so therefore that is a plus. Now I've just run out of a bit of space, so I'm going to continue here. So do you agree that you're going to get k equals to 9 from this factor here? I'm going to leave a bit of space. Or k equals to negative 3 over here. All right, but k is 3 to the x, all right? That equals 9 is 3. So do you see x, therefore, is 2? Put an arrow and your answer. Big, fat, or. So k could also have been negative 3. So you've got your 3 to the x equals to negative 3. Remember, you can never have any base to x that equals a negative number. Just again, I've said this before. If x was 0, 3 to the 0 is 1. If x is 1, you get 3. If x is 2, you get 9. If x is minus 1, then it becomes 1 over 3, which is positive a third. If x is minus 2, it becomes 1 over 9. So you're never going to get that to equals a negative. So this is no solution. All right. Now that was also a 5 marks. This question was a level 2 hard. Okay. Why was it hard? Just there was a little trick going on there, and the positive x and the minus x is considered the harder one because not everyone recognizes the K method. Okay, so the mark allocation, I will not, that might be a mark. That might be a mark. I would say flattening that out, factorizing that's 3, 4, 5, Okay, guys, you might find that question was a 6-mark question, but they might not have given a mark for that. They might just say, you should know what you're doing. So that would either be a 5 or a 6-mark question, and that mark is the mark I'm not sure if you would get. But notice you get that. How easy is that mark? You have to show 3 to the exponent of x equals 3 to the 2. So that is 1, 2. And you will not get the mark if you leave it like that. That is not the answer. In fact, so let's not put the answer is no solution. When you write an exam, you guys lose marks. I see this all the time. Is you drop your equations. So in other words, how many times have I seen that? Now, isn't that sad? Because it took me exactly 3.8 seconds to get that answer. And I've lost it. It was like 3.8 seconds of my life wasted because I lost it because I dropped the equation. So please never, ever, ever drop your equations. All right. The next 2 are slightly harder. Can I erase that? If you want to screenshot it, go for it. I'll count to 3 in my head. Okay, the next 2. All right. Now, tell her, if you are there, hello. This is where I did it very differently to you, and I got different answers. So now, the whole of the rest of the grade 11 can decide if they think I am right or you are right. Because my memo is the memo. I don't have the official memo. So at the end of the lesson, you can go and see what Talha did. He swapped the order of it. I think this was his 2nd page, but it is number 3. It goes 9 times the bracket of x plus 3 to the fraction exponent of minus 2 over 3 equals to 4. Now, what I first did that is totally different to what you did, I made my life easier, Telha, because that 9 is joined to the base by times. So I divided both sides by 9. So having done that, I now have a base. Now I know my base is a bracket. Remember, a bracket is one number. So I have a base to a fractional exponent. And on this side, don't even break it down. Keep it. For now, it's 4 over 9. Now remember yesterday, if we had fraction exponent, we raised it to the reciprocal, okay, the upside down, because you want to get your base. And in this example, guys, to understand, my base is the bracket. You want to get a ghost plus 1. So you've got to raise it, not just to the upside down, but to negative 3 over 2. Because minus times minus gives you the plus, and the 2's cancel into each other once, and so do the 3's. But did you notice that the denominator you're raising to is even? So this means when we do it to the other side, and you raise this to the minus 3 over 2, you also have to write plus minus. So the bracket to the exponent of ghost 1 equals to plus or minus. Now what I would do, making that exponent positive, I would just flip my base upside down. So I've got 9 over 4. Now the exponent is positive 3 over 2. That's a big fat plus. Now, if you shower the power, what is, okay. Okay, so to try and help you, I'm first going to look at, yeah? Then here I'm going to look at the minus, because that makes the all right? Now, Basically, when you just do this as a sort of a rough column, over a denominator to an exponent. I've told you, you shower the power. So that is the new exponent over the denominator to the exponent. I've also told you that the denominator of the fraction exponent, so it's the square root of 9 cubed. And the square root of 9 is 3 cubed. So it's going to become 27, all right? But over, and then just for of, so that's over 8. So, but I'm going to just show you what I would write. So that means the square root of 9, which is 3 to the 3, so that is just 27. The square root of 4 is 2 to the 3 is 8. And there, wait, oh, I nearly said that's the answer. But remember, guys, we're solving for x, so we've got to take the plus 3 to the other side. So we're going to get x equals to positive 27 over 8 minus 3, which obviously I still need to give an answer. But before I do, can I go back to the or? So we have our base to the negative 9 over 4 to that exponent. And you can see it's going to be the same answer. It's just going to be negative in front, okay? And then the square root of 9 is 3, so it's 27 over, square root of 4 is 2, is 8. So, okay. And then obviously here, or x plus 3, but this time you have minus 27 over 8, and you take the 3 over, so minus 3, and then it's no longer there. And then, quite frankly, I would just Casio this. You are so lucky. This was the kind of example I did when I was in matric. No calculators. You have to do everything manually and still finish the same time frame. So that is just 3 over 8. I'm leaving it. And over there, I'm going to go up, down, minus 27 divided by 8 minus 3. That equals to x equals to minus 51 over 8. Arrow, arrow. Now, if I go to my memo, I got, when I did this question, with number 3, sorry, it's on the back, positive 3 over 8 or minus 51 over 8. So I am right.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Is it okay for us to use K method?
Where would you use K method?
Ma'am, it's hard to explain. Can I just send it to you? I already sent it to you, but I still got the same answers as you, but I use K method.
Okay, but look, K method is a tool. Do you understand? You can use K method whenever it's relevant, even if I say it's unnecessary. If you can use it, and did you still get the answers right, Lamb Chop?
Yes, I did. I got the K method from the textbook. That's how they do it in the textbook.
Capella or Nelly?
It's Nelly.
Which is me.
It's Nelly.
Yeah, but so it's neither of Capella or Nelly.
Sorry?
Yeah, I can't see faces. You gotta remember that. I'm hearing voices, and
it's Nelly, ma'am.
I said it's Nelly. I said it's Nelly.
Okay, you were one of my Capella or Nelly. Okay, Nelly, well done. I do notice, Nelly, that you have sent answers through on everything. So, guys, she's not the only one. Penguin, Artica, she's also, there are quite a few. Haja, who's running this group. I might have left out a few of you, but there are a lot of you. I've seen all your answers for everything. So I can see you working. And I know, Ali, you sent your answers, and there were quite a few others who said, so I'm very proud of you. I'm just not making it for marks anymore. The last one, let's see if you can get. Yes, yes.
On the right, the exponent is minus 3 over 2. Then it changes to positive 3 over 2. Why is that?
Oh, yes.
Because I base upside down. Look,
Oh,
if you go
I
4
see.
over 9 to, let's say, -1, the rule says you can flip your base upside down, then the power becomes positive. So 4 over 9 to a negative becomes 9 over 4 to the positive. Did you not know there's a rule that says you can do that?
I didn't realize.
Guess what you do now? Is that cat? You like, who is that?
It's Mukuluwete the Rage.
Oh, Rage.
I'm a stag.
Oh, yeah, the Rage. Just like a party. Yeah, good for, well, now you know. Do you understand? Do you understand? Now you know. You've just learned a new rule. So Rage, I want you, is this the original Rage? Up is up. Or is this a different Rage?
No, ma'am, the Rage is his surname. His name is...
Oh, I'm with you, I'm with you. So Rage is just his nickname, but we have
No.
another Rage because we
Maybe
have
It's
stop.
his surname.
Maybe stop.
Huh?
It's his surname. The Rage is his surname.
Well, then
Like-
it is. Are there two metrics with surname of Rage?
I think so, ma'am.
Yeah, because I mean he's probably here. Hi, I can't always pronounce this right, but it's like Abdurizak Rage.
What grade
Well-
11s, ma'am?
Oh, you grade 11s, of course. He's grade 12. Yes, not often you get a surname called Rage. That's quite enrageous. All right, let me move on to the last because we're running out of time.
You have
Some of you
6
wouldn't have got
minutes.
it. What, Landra?
You have 6 minutes left.
Okay, that's all I need. Okay, so now the last one. A bit different to what I've shown you. So I'm going to call this level 4, but 1. Easy. Or it might be level 3 hard. I'm actually always a little bit unsure sometimes of the leveling. It's hard to tell. But they gave 10 to the exponent of x plus 2 to the exponent of x minus 8 times 5 to the x minus 8 equals 0. Very much older than you have been a long time. When I 4 terms, obviously we're factorizing. I already think of 4-term grouping. So the trick was with the 10. With the 10, you had to break it to 2 times 5, but obviously that's to the x. Okay, this is going to for now stay. All right? Now, if each one has the exponent of 1 and you times, you see that becomes 2 to the x times 5 to the x. Do you all see how that works? Because a lot of you get that very wrong in exams. You think sometimes it just belongs to the second factor. You've got to shower the power. Okay, here you've got 2 to the x minus 8 times 5 to the x minus 8 is equals to 0. Now I notice in these two terms, we've got a highest common factor of 2 to the x. So if you take out 2 to the x, by division, you're left with 5 to the x plus 1. Now, I always used to teach my grade 10s, leave a space, write the same bracket. You are forcing a situation. Now, what number do you need there to get that, to get the sign? I need an 8. Now we need a plus or minus. Well, you can see that's minus, so I'm sure that's minus. Is minus 8 times 5 to the x, and minus times plus gives you minus. Now I forced the situation, the bracket 5 to the x plus 1 is your highest common factor. Take it out by division, so you're left with 2 to the x minus 8. And guess what Mrs. Holmboe did? Ha ha ha, I dropped my equation. But guess what Mrs. Holmboe did? I picked it up. I picked it up. So don't drop equations. Let each one equals to naught. So 5 to the x is going to equals to -1, or 2 to the x is going to be +8, which is 2 to the 3. So x is 3, or, and tell her, no solution. All right? Oh, I think you did it on one of them, but you didn't on the other one. Okay, mark allocation. So that's already 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let me just quickly get you your homework. So stay there. Don't go. I will post this memo and I will post your homework, but it's not, and don't send it, stop sending me stuff, because until every grade 11 is on this group, I'm not doing sending stuff anymore for homework, right? Write these down. Solve for x. Have I got 1 minute or 2? Can someone tell me?
You've got almost 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes.
1.5. Okay. The first one is very easy. That's A. B. 2.3 to the x plus 5 equals 23. Number 5 to the x plus 2 minus 4 times 5 to the x equals 105. And number D, 4 to the 3 minus x, an exponent, minus 3 equals to 13. Now, I don't think these are particularly hard. If I look at all of these, well, I don't know. The last one could be a bit tricky. I'm just trying to think what I would do. No, I'll do there. No, they're all quite easy. So guys, I love you guys.